Hi guys, welcome to Learn Electronics Repair. I have two amplifiers here. Now this one I've looked at before, basic 400. You'll see the transformer is disconnected from the amplifier board on this one. And this has a faulty transformer. I'll show you actually, but it is faulty, the transformer itself. This one from the same owner. And this one appears to power up, but I haven't actually tested it yet to see if we get any sound out of it. So I'm just going to connect my speakers to this. This is a woofer and tweeter, but I actually just connect both my full range speakers, and if I get sound out of both, one might be tinier than the other, I know it's basically working. This does power up though, so I'll just show you. I have the light bulb over there. Plug it into this one, switch on, bright then dim. Okay, if I switch the light bulb out, you will see that I get limiter and power, then limiter goes off, so it's behaving pretty much as you would expect. I haven't tried, as I say, if there's any audio, well in a minute, but I have noticed with this one that there's a real botch of a repair down here, and this wasn't me, of course. Okay, so yeah, look, somebody's changed the potentiometer. Well, kind of, I mean. Yeah, maybe that's the problem with it, maybe it isn't. I would suggest it wants dealing with anyway. This one then, you'll see that I have the transformer disconnected from the main board. We'll put the current limiter back on because it's a very good idea with this one. Plug it in, switch it on, and the light's on full brightness and stays on. If you don't put the limiter in, this will just blow the fuse. The problem with this is a shorted turn or shorted turns in the transformer itself. We know that because the transformer isn't connected to anything on the secondary. It just has the primary connected, yeah. So that's the problem with this one. And the voltage switch is set correctly, by the way. So that's the problem with that one. I honestly do not recall whether or not I tested this amplifier module, because at the time I found this, I had two others to repair. I fixed the other two, and I honestly can't remember, guys. So question number one, does this one actually work? And question number two, what does he want me to do? Because he knows I can't fix this one. I can't get the transformer, okay? It may be that this doesn't work and he wants me to get one working out of the two. I'm sure we'll find out, but in the meantime, let's test this one. Okay, we're ready to go with this one, so power it on again. Oh, we get a click on the speakers. And a buzzing noise. That could be my cable. No, we get a buzzing noise on that one. Do we hear any music out of interest? Yeah, so we get music on both speakers, but we get this horrible buzzing noise. Okay. I'm just going to check now to see what the customer wants me to do with these. Okay, so he says get one working now, but get them both working if I can, so that this one just needs a transformer. Okay, repair the one that's making the noise. So I can do that by taking the board from this one, but I want to test this amplifier to make sure it works. I'm going to use the transformer off this one now to test this one first, and then we can decide what to do with it. So guys, I think you can see I've connected the speakers to this one. I've connected the output from the transformer, the good one, onto this one. This is the one that was already disconnected. I've put the current limiter back on again just to be absolutely certain, but I am certain. and I don't think I'll prove myself wrong this time. So, power on. Brighter than dim. Yeah, that's good. So, we'll click on the speakers, switch the limiter out, come back on again, music. Okay. So that one actually works with a transformer from the other one. That means I can get one of these working without too much of a problem. But he asked me if I could fix them both, so that whichever one he doesn't have back now only needs a transformer. I suspect the problem with this one is going to be down to this bodge job here. I mean, that is not good at all. Why they've done that, I don't know, but let's take it apart and let's have a look. As I have the transformer already unbolted from here, I think the easy way would be to take this front panel off. Should be able to get down here then and see what they've done to this. And the first problem is I can't get the knob off this. Have they glued this on or something? Man, that is ridiculous. Look, I just cannot get that thing off. It's going to have to come off one way or another. This is coming off that way. It broke it, but I've got knobs, that's not a problem. It broke to get it off. Probably didn't do the potentiometer much good either, but it had to come off, guys. Yeah, I have spares. Right. Well, I think we see some problems here. Yeah, I mean, like they've trashed the PCB. This is just disgusting, guys. Honestly, I'm having a bit of a rant now, but whoever's doing this shouldn't be working on this sort of equipment. Simple as that. Yeah. Now let's see. So, well, one of the wires just came off and ripped a track off. That was probably due to me trying to get the thing off. You see a piece of PCB track there. Probably a bit of PCB came with it. I'm gonna just unsolder this one. I have the good one, and also I have a schematic for this. And we can see that the potentiometer, although it's a stereo one, it's just wired in parallel. Yeah, both wired in parallel. So effectively, it's acting as a 10k potentiometer. I suspect they've done that probably to reduce noise as you turn the pot, because obviously the slider is moving against the track, and if you've got two of them, well, hopefully you'll get a good contact on at least one all the time. So that's where it is. So there's actually only 3 connections to that pot. And I think the previous, can we call them an engineer, or even a technician, knew that, because in actual fact there is only 3 connections going to the board, and then the rest are just strapped together on here. Okay. This, man. Well, it doesn't touch, yeah, but oh my gosh. Right, so we have 3 connections, we know that much. Let's get this thing off here. There is clearly a PCB track there. That might be the one that either I ripped off when I was trying to get the knob off it, or maybe I didn't. Okay, flux. Better. Okay, right, let's clean this lot up. Another issue I spotted, you may have seen this as well actually, is that I haven't cleaned this up yet, but that looks like a broken capacitor to me, and it goes across to one end of the pot here. Yeah, let's get the microscope on that. Oh yes, definitely a broken capacitor as well. My gosh. Do you think they did that at the same time they were trying to unsolder that pot? Because I think they probably did. Okay, well, we should be able to figure out what that is from the schematic. I mean, I know what it connects to, so yeah, let's try to figure that out as well. Well, we can see the full horror on this side now, so this, yeah, that I actually think is attached to the end of here. Don't know. Looks like it. It looks like it's wire. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that bit comes from that bit. And well, you saw how to get that knob off, but at the time I got the knob off, this was attached to the front panel. Okay, well, that's what we have anyway. So we can see we need to replace that in this track. Let's just clean the other side. Okay, so we'll clean the solder out of these two. Yeah. We can now mount a potentiometer. So these two we can see are connected to ground, which is even clearer. Now I've removed the flux, or most of it. You can see these connect to ground. This one is where the track comes from here, and then those two are connected to each other, or were on the other side, and these two both connect onto the track from the broken capacitor on the other side. Okay, let's see what is fitted. So this should be a 20k A. Well, it's a 10k A. Right, okay, so they've put a 10k pot in instead of a 20k, and then wired the two together anyway. What? If this pot actually works, having to get that knob off here, then probably I should just use one side of this and not the other side to give the correct value. What do you think, guys? I can see the one on the other one is a 22k, which is close, and it's A, which is logarithmic, the right type. So that tells me if I do use this one, I should only use one side of it. But I will see if I have any of the correct type first. Well, I have 20k pots, salvage ones, but they're all B rather than A, so these are linear. They're also the right angle type, which would be a bit difficult to fit, to be quite honest. So let's try this one, and as I say, we'll just use one of the sliders, basically, yeah. One of the ganged pots. Looks sort of okay in there. Let's just test with a multimeter. I've cleaned this up as best I can. Now you can see that these have been cut off, these two, yeah. So I need to solder one of those. I'm going to use, as I say, one of the gangs. If I can use it, I'll use this one because it's probably a bit easier to solder. But let's connect this to the multimeter and just see if it actually works. Okay, so 5 ohms to 10k. Seems to be working quite smoothly. That was the multimeter changing range there. That's why it kind of jumped. Okay, then to ohms. I can't say if it's noisy or not, but it functions. Go from the other end, so 10k. Yeah, meter change range. Change it again. Okay, so that seems to be working okay. Ish, as far as I can tell. The reason I want to use the inner gang is it's easier to solder, I think. So this is where the pot goes. I'm going to mount the pot back on here with all of the legs, at least the remaining ones. I'll solder from that one into here. So these are the two ground. Okay, and we can see that the missing track to the slider comes to here. These two are joined on the other side, so if I just don't join them on the other side, then that one isn't ganged with this one. I can connect a wire from here, glue it and stick it through the hole, so when I stick the pot in, it'll solder. Okay, these two are connected together on the other side. And again, the one on the inner side goes to the broken capacitor. I believe the best thing to do with this is to unsolder that, look on the schematic to see what value the capacitor is, and then I'll probably use a through-hole capacitor to connect from this part to here and just kind of glue it down somewhere here so it doesn't like put any stress on that connection, yeah, due to vibration. And again, if I just don't connect the wire to there, then they're not ganged together. Okay, so let's see if we can put this in. It's probably better if I solder a wire onto here first, yeah, out of focus. But if I just solder a wire onto this one first, so I have the leg. Okay, so this onto here. Okay, should do. Still warm. Now let's try and mount this onto our PCB. This is wire wrapping wire. Have a big reel of it here. This is ideal for this sort of work because it's single strand and it's very thin. With a flux on there. Okay. That's on. I'll put this through the hole. I can strip some on the other side easily enough. I have that little bit of bare wire there, but if I just clean the flux off and put a bit of glue on this, it'll stay in place. It won't be a problem. Okay, you can see there. Nice. I'll glue it first, let the glue set, and then I'll put the potentiometer in. If it turns out I have to strip the wire here, it's not really a problem. But if I glue it first, I'm not going to put any strain on that, yeah. Okay, this should do. I'll give that 10 minutes to set and I'll have my lunch. See you guys soon. Okay, the glue is pretty much set on there. The wire's gone through nicely with the potentiometer. Okay, I'll just solder one of the legs at the back and then see if this actually fits into the front panel correctly. So I can solder the one there. This is ground. I do have a connection, or rather I do have a pad to connect to because this one hasn't been ripped off. Okay, so let's do this. Don't want to get too much heat into this because of the pin being soldered to the potentiometer on the other side, yeah. I'll just check to make sure this actually fits on the front panel correctly. Yes, it does. Okay, that's good. I can solder to here, so there's no pin here. That's the other one that had been cut off. These two, I just don't need to worry about them. What I will do is I'll bend this leg over because it will go over there, and I'll solder this to here as well. Yeah, a bit of extra support really, physical rather than any electrical connection really. We have that. Now I need to strip this wire and wrap it around the pin. Be careful I don't just break the thing off, of course. I think this will be good enough. There's a bit of blue insulation there, but you know, I think that'll be fine. And this one. So in actual fact, this is this capacitor, 1 microfarad X7R. That's the dielectric type. I'm not sure it's particularly critical. Maybe you guys would know. I don't really have any 1 microfarad capacitors in a fairly small size. I may have some surface mount ones, so let me see what I have. Well, in fact, I do have X7R 1 microfarad. So I'm going to fit one of these. I may solder one end to the board, or I may literally just solder wires to both ends. I'll probably solder one end to the board, I think. Let's have a go. I'll remove the broken one. Okay. A little bit of flux on there is going to help. A bit of fresh solder. This is physically a larger one, actually. This probably makes it a little bit easier. It's not too wide to put in here. I'm not going to short to the other track, okay? Just get it to sit flat. You know, I think that's short into there, okay? Soon solve the problem. Okay, so it's over this track. I think it might actually be slightly raised from there. The angle I've got it at, let's just see. A little bit hard to tell. I'll try and do that though. Usually with these things, they won't lie flat when you want them to, and then when you don't want them to, well, sod's law, yeah. Just do it. I'll try and put it at a bit of an angle. I don't think it would be a problem. Anyway, let's have a look at that with a microscope. Yeah, leaning the wrong way. Okay. I'm going to try and do this with the tweezers right-handed. Probably better for me. Well, I am right-handed, so should be. Okay. I'll also come in with a finer tip soldering iron. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, now I'm happier with that. A little bit messy, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. I can see where that's supposed to connect to, so we can just use the multimeter and check it. And then I'll get a bit of wire on the other end to go to the pot, and I'll glue this on again so it shouldn't go astray afterwards, okay? So I should have a connection from this end of the cap to here. Okay, and in that case I should read 1 microfarad from this end to here. Yeah, 1 microfarad and no short to here. Okay. No, that's fine. I'll use a piece of this blue wire again. I'm going to solder this end first so it's anchored down, then the other end onto the cap. I'm sure, guys, there are plenty of methods we could use for this sort of work, and you know, what can I say? Do it the way that suits you. By all means, get in the comments below and tell me to do it a different way. I mean, that's fine, that's fair. I may even think, you know what, actually, that would be easier. But I think so far what I'm doing is pretty reasonable and likely to work. That's the main thing, yeah. Will it work? Okay. Can put a touch more solder on that in a minute. Let's just get this wire where we want it to go. Over this way. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can do this without unsoldering the other end again. Okay, a bit melted but attached. Right, we may be able to check that again actually with the capacitance meter. It's in circuit now, but maybe we can read something close to a microfarad. Let's have a look. So from here, yeah, close to a microfarad. I'm happy with that. Okay. So again, a little bit of glue, I think, but I'll just clean the flux off first. That should hold that down quite well. Bit on here as well, just to help to hold it down. Okay. Right, just let that set a little bit and then we'll try this. Well, that's bolted back on. That's much better than the previous technician. If we can say that. Their repair attempt, that was really shoddy, guys. So let's see if this actually works now. So I've connected the transformer back onto here. We now have a much tidier repair job. Yeah, current limiter is on. Just check, always do this. It's fine, but I think we still have the buzzing noise. Okay, so it looks like that hasn't fixed it. We'll just switch it on without that. Yeah. So this still has the problem. What I'm going to do then is, because the guy is urgent to get one repaired, I'm going to put this transformer onto the other one so he can take that. He needs that because it's the Three Kings on Monday. So this is the big festival that the Spanish have on the 12th day of Christmas. It's bigger than Christmas here. And yes, the Spanish do actually celebrate Christmas. And this one I'll have to leave on one side. If we get a transformer for it, I can fix it. But for now, it's more important we get the one working. It was worth doing that though, because it would need doing anyway. There's clearly some other problem on here. And it appears, I'll just switch it back on. to only be on the base amp, okay? This thing is a bi-amp, it's 2 amplifiers. We know the base amp actually works, so there's going to be something else on here that's causing the buzzing noise. Okay guys, maybe not totally the result you wanted, but customer needs this. So let's get this onto the other one and do a final check to make sure that one works. I've switched the transformers then. On, protect out. Okay, so we're ready to try this. Yep. Both speakers. We have one working then, which is what the customer needs right now. The other one, well, we still need a transformer. I know this has this buzzing problem, which I'm certain I've had a listen to. It is only on the base amplifier. Given the fact we have a schematic, I don't really think that's going to be a big issue to find if we can get a transformer for this one. What he is discussing maybe, because we can't seem to find a suitable replacement for this, which is 58 volt, 28 volt. This is your ground, common ground, 28, 58. Now, he was saying because we couldn't find something suitable, maybe we can actually replace this with 2 transformers if we can find a suitable one for the 5858 and one for the 2828. And he says there's a lot of room inside these cabinets, and apart from a chunk of weight in that, I don't see any reason why we couldn't do that actually if we can find some way to mount another transformer. So this is kind of like on one side until we find something salvaged, or maybe use 2 transformers and get it to work. I looked at rewinding these, but you know, without the equipment, and I don't have the equipment, that seems to be something that isn't really feasible to do, which is a shame because I would have liked to have tried something like that, but looks like it's not going to happen with this one, unfortunately, unless you guys know something more about that. Okay, anyway, we got a job done, we got one working. The other one, I'm sure, as I say, we can find it, but I don't see the point in going further than just that potentiometer if I'm not sure I'm ever going to have a transformer for it. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, customer will be happy, and I look forward to seeing you all soon again on Learning Electronics Repair. Ciao for now, guys.